में आपको अगर आपका एलोकेशन अपने बिल्कुल एसेट एलोकेशन के हिसाब से है, कुछ भी बदलाव करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
जी, तो हर सिक्के का दो पहलू होता है और जो इस वक्त आप देख रहे हैं बाजारों में वो सिक्के का दूसरा पहलू है। उसको देख के बहुत घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, ये हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स की सलाह है। फिरोज जी, ये बताइए कि इस वक्त अगर स्टार्ट करना है, वक्त को ध्यान में रखें या फिर थोड़ा जंबल अप करना है, स्विचिंग करनी है म्यूचुअल फंड्स में, आपकी सलाह क्या?
Call Putin, call Lavrov to stop aggression. And I welcome the decision of some members of this council to meet as soon as possible to consider the necessary decision that would condemn the aggression that you launch on my people. There is no purgatory for war criminals. They go straight to hell.
At least 5 floors blasted into the site. This comes after Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Kremlin's military operations will not target civilian infrastructures. Once again, this is in Kyiv.
At the exact time as we are gathered in the council seeking peace, Putin delivered a message of war in total disdain for the responsibility of this council. This is a grave emergency.
As we sat in this chamber urging Russia to step back, President Putin announced special military operations on Ukrainian territory.
Is that Russia, under Putin's leadership, has invaded a validly elected democracy, an independent nation, violating international law, and of course is a threat to Europe and is a threat to our NATO allies and therefore to the United States. What we know is that he has openly stated that his goal is to reunite the geographical territory of the Soviet Union. And we should believe him. He's doing the military modernization and build-up in order to undertake that, to threaten the West. He's made very threatening statements against both NATO and the United States. And his actions in attacking a country that's no threat to him certainly show that he's going to make good on his intentions. Coming right off the debacle of the Afghanistan withdrawal at a time when the Biden administration has shown weakness and has sent even mixed messages with respect to Ukraine itself. I think Putin, in looking to the Obama-Biden administration when Putin last invaded Ukraine and annexed the Crimea, believes already what he thinks he's going to get out of this administration and sees an opportunity to be able to do this at the least cost. We need to operate from this point forward that Putin is standing by his words, and that means that every nation that was under the Soviet Union's influence or that was actually part of their territory is at risk and is a threat, and that threatens the United States and our allies. So
the latest in Ukraine. Well, Tongmin, following the clashes overnight, sirens rang through Kyiv as it entered the third day of the invasion. Heavy gunfire was heard in Kyiv during the early hours of Saturday as Russian troops sought to encircle the Ukraine capital.
Ukraine using heavy artillery and aviation and rocket. So just that is the situation. Can I address the American society now? I just want to ask you to push your government to put the toughest possible sanctions against Putin now. I am speaking about SWIFT. Russia should be out of world economy. I am speaking about ban on Russian oil and gas. That's something which can stop Russia because more than half of Russia budget is oil and gas. That's all. That's just a very big gas station of the world. And it should be stopped now because they are killing innocent people just in this minute.
परिणाम जो है वो विश्व पे होते हैं। रूस की शक्ति जो है वो कम हुई है। वो पहले वो सोवियत यूनियन जैसा सुपर पावर नहीं है, लेकिन रूस के अनदेखी हम नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि उसके पास सैन्य शक्ति है। सीरिया में उसने क्या दिखाया, हर सूरत कोशिश करी अमेरिका ने कि असद को हटाया जाए। क्या रूस की मदद मिली उनको, क्या वो हटा पाए? तो हमें रूस की इतनी अनदेखी नहीं करनी चाहिए। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि वो सही कर रहा है या गलत कर रहा है, मैं तो एक विश्लेषण करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि भाई, और मेरा यही मानना है कि इसके बीच से रास्ता निकालने की जरूरत है क्योंकि जो यूक्रेन की जो आबादी है वो एक नहीं है, उसमें भी फूट पड़ी हुई है। वो किस ऊंट करवट बैठेगा, ये अभी इसका अनुमान लगाना मुश्किल है, बहुत जल्दी।
जी शिवकांत जी, अमेरिका का एजम्पशन था, बाइडेन साहब के ट्वीट्स पढ़ रहे थे हम लोग, उनको लगता था कि वो इस लेवल पे है कि वो किसी भी समय हमला करेगा। इवन
eastern Ukrainian city of Melitopol. The fate of about 150,000 residents of Melitopol hangs in the balance. If confirmed, the fall of Melitopol would be the first significant population center seized by the Russian forces since the invasion began. Moscow has launched coordinated cruise missile and artillery strikes on several cities. The tower block, with a hole covering at least 5 floors, blasted into the site. This comes after Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Kremlin's military operations will not target civilian infrastructures.
Dispensing with our usual format. Our starting point this week is Ukraine. With the last-minute diplomacy failing and the prospect of an invasion growing from likely to inevitable, news outlets were relying on open-source intelligence, evidence to show their audiences the buildup of Russian troops and armor on the border with Ukraine.
I know you've been studying these satellite images closely, the troop movements, the buildup.
Monday, 5 p.m. Moscow time. Vladimir Putin assembles his Security Council at the Kremlin, a made-for-TV meeting that, if nothing else, produces some political theater.
Или признавать суверенитет. Говорите прямо.
Later that night, in an hour-long speech to the cameras, Putin denies that an independent Ukraine has a right to exist. Roughly 48 hours later, on Wednesday, Putin's Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky, sends out a last-ditch message.
Я знаю, что это мое обращение не покажут по российскому телевидению. Но граждане России должны его увидеть. Они должны знать правду.